Hello everyone, my name is Heather Saint and I'm going to be your yoga teacher for the next few weeks. Now what I thought we could focus on is ways that we can help calm and relax the bodies, especially as we're returning back to our routines like school and all those other commitments that we might have going on. And hopefully I'll be able to give you some ways that you can relax in the evening after you've had your full day, or maybe there might be ways that you can actually use this to energize yourself in the morning as well. So you can take certain elements from each. It'll be lovely if you had anything you would like me to work on over these next few weeks together. And I will, of course, incorporate that in what we are doing. But today we are going to be really gentle with ourselves. Just going to do some nice movements. There will be some times where we will come to standing, but everything's going to be nice and slow and gentle. So with it being the new year, there comes expectations that maybe we put on ourselves, or maybe other people put them on us without even realizing. So with New Year, it comes the time where people like New Year, New Me, or all their resolutions and goals that we must set in order to have a fantastic year. I want you to forget all of that and just remember how amazing you are right now in this moment. We don't need to change anything. Okay, embrace and find gratitude for who you are in this moment. Forget about having to change or put more things into our lives that maybe we just don't have the time to be able to do. Just take the time to pause, to breathe, and love yourself. And I'm hoping that's what we're going to be able to do today. So with our class, you just need a nice big space and that you are able to lay down in. I'm not using any props, but if you like during a relaxation to have a pillow and a blanket, please do have them somewhere close by because you will be having a nice rest at the end. If you are like familiar with yoga, sorry, I can get my words out there, and you know that you need things like blocks or things like that to help you, please by all means use those. I may be using them throughout the next few weeks, but right now you don't need anything yourself other than yourself. Okay, so we're actually going to come down to a nice, comfortable laying position. So we're going to start how we're going to finish today. So just take the time to just come to lay down on backs. If it's far too much for the lower spine to be completely flat, you can always bend your knees, having your legs slightly wider apart, and then just allowing the knees to fall in towards each other. This feels much more comfortable. Please take this position. If not, you're welcome to take those feet out nice and long, and just allowing them to relax as the feet maybe fall out towards the sides. And just begin to rest your hands upon your belly. Maybe you can close off the eyes. As we just settle in here, allowing the body to find its way to the mat. Just releasing anything that's happened or is due to come. Just knowing for these next few moments, all we've got to do is focus on ourselves. So maybe you can start to bring the awareness to the breath. Do that by maybe feeling it underneath the hands. Or maybe noticing the sound of the breath as you breathe in through the nose. And out through. By breathing out through the mouth, we're really allowing that body to relax. And just place your left hand over your heart. Keep your right hand over your belly. Again, keeping with that awareness of our breath. Without changing a thing. Just maybe notice that as you breathe in and out, which hand moves the most. Maybe noticing as you breathe in, the belly fills and rises. As you breathe out, everything just lets go. Let's take a few more breaths here. Beautiful. This time as we breathe in, maybe see if you can focus on the hand over the belly. As you breathe in, you really fill up all the way through the ribs and the diaphragm, really expanding through the whole of you. As you breathe out, slowly letting it fall back down. Doing that 2 more times. Nice big breath in. Last one, big breath. Just allow both hands to just come down by your sides. Just bring a gentle rock of the head from left to right. Taking it nice and slowly as we begin to bring a little movement into the body. Maybe noticing if the neck feels a little bit tight. Whether this feels lovely, it's easy to come all the way back through to center and hug those knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a nice big squeeze. But seeing if you can keep the head and the shoulders down towards the floor. Lovely. Breathing in, hug a little bit closer. And as you breathe out, see if you can stretch those arms up overhead as you allow those feet to come all the way back down to the floor, stretching fingers away from toes. Maybe this brings a little bit of a yawn. Embrace that the body is relaxing. This is wonderful. Let's do that a few more times. Nice big breath in, hugging those knees in towards the chest. And as you breathe out, opening the body nice and long, full body stretch. Lovely. Last one. Big breath in, hugging those knees in, and now maybe peeling the head and shoulders off the floor as you tuck everything in towards each other. And as you breathe out, taking it out nice and long. Wonderful. Drawing those knees back into the chest and allowing the hands to just come onto both knees here. We're going to take our knees all the way out to the sides, bringing them all the way forwards. We're going to create nice big circles here, and then drawing those knees all the way through to the center and back towards the chest. So nice big circles going in one direction for a moment. Just feeling into that lower body. How are our hips feeling? We've been doing lots of sports, or maybe you've been enjoying that rest over the Christmas period. And the body's just starting to move and wake up once more. Lovely. And let's go in the opposite direction. So keeping those nice big circles, but now going in the opposite way. See if you can allow that head to stay fully rested on the ground. And then draw those knees in towards the chest. Beautiful. Take those legs up nice and high. We're going to take a nice big full happy baby here. So you can support the back of the knees and just draw the knees down towards the chest. Or if you're feeling nice and stretchy, you can maybe take a hold of the outside of your feet. And just draw those knees down towards the armpit area. We want to try and relax through the lower body. So let's work with our breath once again. So breathing in through the nose. This time as we breathe out through the nose also, but see if you can start to relax parts of the body. So as we are focusing on the legs and the hips, see if as you breathe out, can you ask them to soften? Ask them to relax, easing you into our happy babies. Taking 2 more breaths here. Maybe bring a little rock from side to side as you begin to massage the spine. Lovely. 1 more breath. And releasing the whole of the feet or the back of the knees. Just giving yourself 1 more squeeze. This time bringing the head up towards the legs. You tuck everything. And all the way back down. We're just going to bring a little gentle rock up and down the spine. So just rocking up, forwards. Maybe bringing a little bit of strength in towards this rock as you allow the feet to maybe hover off the floor, just igniting those abs a little bit, bringing a little bit of strength. Let's do that 1 more time. hold it here. Maybe test yourself and release the hold of those legs. Lovely. And just take a nice cross-legged position when you get to the top. Beautiful. So let's draw our left heel in first and then our right heel in towards the left. Just roll those shoulders back as we find our way to a nice comfortable seated position now. Just bring those hands to the center of the body as you interlace those fingers. We're just going to keep that movement going, but keeping it really gentle. So as we breathe in, start to draw the palms up towards the chin. As we breathe out, lower the palms all the way back down towards your hips as you flip those palms. As you breathe in, send the palms away from you, stretching those arms out nice and long, bringing them all the way up and above the head, trying to allow those shoulders to fall away from the ears, not tucking them all the way up. And then as you breathe out, taking those arms out nice and wide, spreading through those fingers. Lovely. We're going to do that for a few more rounds. Really interlace those fingers. Big breath in. Flip the palms, breathing out. Big breath in, soaring the arms out in front and above the head. As we breathe out, taking those arms out nice. Lovely. Last time through, big breath in. Breathing out. Breathing in, soaring the arms all the way out. And as we breathe out, taking those arms out nice and wide. Lovely. Maybe allowing those fingertips just to graze the floor. And just drop the chin towards the chest as you open out through the back. Lovely. Your body will really love you for this after. So press that left palm down fully towards the mat. And this time as you breathe in, you're going to reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. You're going to start to open through the right side of the body. So finding space to really bring that beautiful oxygen, allowing our bodies to fully rest. And as you breathe out, maybe you can take that right arm all the way up and over that right ear. I want you to push down through that right knee. So you're just taking that nice big full body side stretch. Maybe you can bend a little bit into that left arm. Remember, this is just our first one, so be kind. And as you breathe in, come all the way back through to the center. And this time as you breathe out, your right palm comes down to the ground. Your left arm draws all the way up and over the head. Now maybe noticing if one side of the body feels a little bit tighter. This is completely normal. So just go to where feels good for you. I always say listen to your body. And this is where you are in a posture. And if it doesn't feel good, don't force it. And as we breathe in, come all the way back through to center. This time walking those fingers out in front of you, keeping that bottom super glued down towards the mat and coming out as far as feels comfortable for you. So this may be where you bow your head completely down towards the mat, or it may be hovering off the floor. Honor where your body is taking you today. Hold it here for one more breath. And on your next inhale, slide those hands all the way back in towards the body, bringing the fingertips behind you now. I'm just going to turn so you can see. So fingertips come behind. We roll those shoulder blades back and open through our collarbone as we really send that chest up towards the ceiling. Our bottom stays down on the ground. We try and open out those knees. So big breath in. Maybe we take the gaze up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Yeah. Come to center. Lovely. We're going to repeat that one more time, but this time a little bit quicker, so moving with the breath. So we'll start with our right hand down first. Nice big breath in as the left arm soars up towards the ceiling. Breathing out, sending it all the way over to the right side. Maybe noticing if you stretch those right fingers a bit further away from you now. Keep pushing down through that left hip. Big breath in, back to center as the left hand comes down and right arm soars all the way over. Big breath in, back to the middle. Breathing out, sending those fingers out nice and long. Breathing in, drawing those hands all the way back in behind the body. Open up the chest, maybe taking the gaze up towards the ceiling, or maybe dropping the head back as you begin to look behind. And to center. Lovely. Just roll those shoulders a couple of times. We're just going to change the cross of our legs. This may feel a little bit alien, but just bringing those legs so the opposite foot is in front. So now my left foot is in front. We're just going to add on to those movements that we've just done. So drawing that left hand down to the floor, right arm soars up towards the sky. Now this is where it changes. So as we breathe back in, instead of going the other side, our right hand comes all the way behind us and our left hand comes and takes a hold of that right knee. We're just going to take ourselves into a little twist. So breathing in, find nice length through that spine. And as you breathe out, take the gaze over that right shoulder. So just looking behind you now. We're just giving a little massage to our organs, just making sure that everything's working and moving as it should. One more breath in here. And keeping that left hand on that right knee. As we breathe in, the right arm comes all the way up and over the head. We're going to do nice big crisscrossy arms here. So now the right hand takes a hold of the left knee. You're going to draw those knees away from you. So we're going to really feel that stretch through the upper body. So the upper back and the shoulders. And maybe just bow the head down towards the knees. So hopefully you're feeling this nice big stretch through the top of the back. And as we breathe in, release the hold of those knees, take a nice big cactus stretch. That's where we bend our elbows and we send that chest up. And release the hold of those hands. Lovely, very nice. Right hand comes down. Let's repeat that on the other side. Big breath in, left arm to the sky. Breathing out, sending that left hand all the way behind you as now your right hand takes a hold of your left knee. Big breath in, find length through that spine. And as you breathe out, taking the gaze over that left shoulder. Big breath in as that left arm comes all the way up and over, crisscrossing the opposite way this time. So now our left hand takes a hold of that right knee, pushing those knees away as you drop the head once more towards the arm. Release the hold of the legs. Let's take that cactus stretch once more. Big breath in, opening through the chest. And as you breathe out, releasing it down. Lovely. Bringing the soles of the feet together now this time. So we're going to take a little butterfly stretch. So maybe you can draw the bottom a little bit closer towards those heels, but honor if your lower body is tight and your hips are feeling a little bit tight, just take it nice and slow. So just take some little bounces into the legs now. Lovely. And we can have a little fun with this one here. So holding on to the feet. So I'm going to use my what I call two-piece fingers. You can wrap them around your big toes here. As you breathe in, sitting up nice and tall. As you breathe out, see if you can pick up the feet and just balance on the bottom now. The higher we sit, the less we're likely to fall backwards. Lovely. And just let those feet come back down. Take those little bounces once more. This time stretching our right leg as far as it will allow us to go today. It's a nice big stretch for the back of the hamstrings. And bring them back in. Lovely. Left side, stretching it out. Lovely. One more each side. Right. And then left. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Let's see if we can hover those feet once more. Can you open up both legs this time? And bring it in. Try that one more time. Nice big stretch. Oh, lovely. And bring the soles of the feet back together as you take those bounces. Very nice. Now this time we're going to stretch that right leg all the way out. So we're going to take a nice big full body stretch. And this is like a baby wild thing. So we're going to bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of our right thigh. And your left hand's just going to come and rest behind you. So you can kind of lean the weight behind you here. And our right leg is nice and strong, and so is our right hand. Now you can do this nice and low if your body's feeling a little bit tired today. You can just reach that right arm all the way up and over. So we're making that line a little bit longer than what we did when we were seated. Or if you'd like to come with me, as we breathe in, we're going to push into our left knee and our right foot. We're going to lift the body all the way up away from the floor as we reach that right arm all the way up and over. So creating like a nice big arch with the body now. And then as we lower back down, the right hand comes down towards the right ankle, does not need to touch. And that left arm comes all the way up and over. Feel like completing the arch in both directions. Let's try that one more time. Nice big breath in, left hand comes down, right arm soars all the way up, and maybe you peel the bottom off the floor as you take the gaze back towards those right fingers. And as you breathe out, lowering all the way back down, completing that arch with the left hand coming all the way up and over, maybe touching those right toes. Come back through to center. Let's switch sides. So this time our left leg stretches out nice and long as the sole of the right foot comes to the inside. Bringing the right hand behind you, stretching up through that left arm. Remember, you can just take the stretch up like this. This is still a beautiful stretch, so honor what your body needs. If not, as we breathe in, you're going to push into the right knee this time, and those left toes as the left arm comes all the way up and over the hip. And maybe bring the bottom back down, left hand comes over, and then the right hand completes that arch, so maybe it comes towards. One more breath, big breath in, soaring that body all the way up and back. And breathe out. Right hand all the way up. Love. And come back through to center. I'm going to come over onto all fours now. So just take a moment to find that nice comfortable position, spreading through all 10 fingers, knees just underneath the hips and making sure those toes are not tucked, keeping the tops of the feet nice and flat. It's going to wake up that spine a little bit now. It's going to go through some cat and cows, which just brings a bit of mobilization through the spine. So as we breathe in, it's going to feel like you're going to drop the belly down towards the floor as you lift your tailbone up towards the sky. And the eyes follow to create that nice arch within the back. And as you breathe out, you round everything in, drawing tummy in and chin towards the chest, pushing the floor over those palms. Lovely, nice big breath in. And a big breath out. Lovely, one more time, breathing in. Making that nice flat back as we breathe in. So just drawing the navel in slightly just to create a nice little flat back here. And this time you are going to tuck the toes under. You're going to find our first downward dog. So you're going to peel those knees off of the floor as you send the hips up towards the sky. Now for here, your heels do not need to touch the floor. Depends how tight your hamstrings are and how long your hamstrings are. So please do not worry if your heels are hovering. You can always walk the feet a little bit more. That feels a bit nicer on the legs. Just allow the head to become nice and heavy as maybe you take out some shakes of the head for no and some nods of the head for yes. Maybe bending into one knee and the other as we just ease our way through. We've taken some nice stretches of the lower body. So just allow that to just open out. And this time as you breathe in, look forward at your hand. And as you breathe out, just start to walk the feet to meet those fingers. Then hang down nice and low here. So bending the knees if that feels good to do so, or maybe keeping them nice and long, just allowing that head to become nice and heavy as you hold on to opposite elbows once again. And just take that sway side to side. Just allowing the upper body to be nice and heavy, releasing through that lower back. And releasing the hold of the elbows, we just graze the backs of the hands down towards the floor. And this time as we breathe in, we're going to take a nice slow roll up. Just drawing the navel in as we unravel the spine. And the head and neck is the last thing to ride. Lovely, take a nice big breath in as we saw those arms all the way up and over the head. As we breathe out, drawing the palms down towards the heart. Just taking a moment here in our mountain pose. So this pose feels like all we're doing is just standing, but it's so much more than that. We can really find strength within this posture. So just take a moment to peel all 10 toes off the floor. So you're just on the balls of the feet and the heels, and just see if you can now start to put one toe down at a time. So maybe just the baby toe, the second toe, third toe, the fourth toe, and finally your big toe, really spreading forward. And then peel your heels off floor as you step up onto those toes. And then completely press the feet down into the floor. Lovely. So really ground yourself into the mat beneath. So what we say is we want to feel all four corners of the foot. So this is the ball side and the two sides of your heel. So you really want to feel all of that foot connected down towards the mat. Then roll your shoulders back so your chest is nice and open, and you shine those palms forward. A little bring in of the navel. This isn't to make our tummies flatter. What it is, it just tips the pelvis a little bit so that we're able to keep a nice long flat back here. And a little draw up of the knees just activates the quads. It's so much more than just standing. And then a little tug of the chin as we just reach up nice and tall through the crown. Maybe just close off the eyes here as you find this nice, strong, stable mountain. Reminding yourself how strong you are. Just taking a moment to find gratitude for your body with what it's allowed you to do already. How we are able to find this nice, strong mountain. Taking a nice big breath. And open the mouth out. Think those eyes open. And as we breathe in this time, arms reach all the way up over the head, bringing those palms to touch. And as we breathe out, just folding that body all the way down towards them. This time as we breathe in, we're going to slide those hands all the way up towards the knees and just resting them just above and holding up the lower part of the knee, the thigh, sending the chest forward as you send those hips back. And then as you breathe out, sliding those hands down towards the floor, allowing the palms to connect to the ground, bending your knees as much as you need to make this happen. And then just step your left foot back first. Allow that left knee to come down towards the mat. And just untuck those left toes. So we've got a nice strong step forward with our right foot. Maybe noticing if you can take the legs a little bit wider as you just stretch into the lower part of your body. So we're just going to slowly draw in through the belly button and up through our centre as we start to raise the upper body up, maybe resting those hands on the knees for a little bit of support. You want to keep bending into that right knee and sending those hips down towards the mat. Lovely. Now keeping the hands here if you need to, or maybe on your next in-breath, you can send those arms up towards the ceiling. Again, allowing those shoulders to fall away from the hips. Holding it here for a moment. One more breath in. As you breathe out, lower those fingertips back down towards the ground. You're going to send the bottom back as you just peel off those right toes. Just finding a nice stretch once again through the back of the right hamstring. So keeping that chest nice and lifted, maybe sending the right toes up towards the ceiling. And then pressing the sole of that right foot back down, and now bringing the left hand next to the right foot. And as you breathe in, you're now going to send that right arm up towards the sky. Just taking a nice easy twist here. So again, keep bending into that right leg. And as you breathe out, bring that right hand down next to the right foot. Going to tuck the toes under on that left leg. Maybe you can pop that left knee off the floor. So you just find a little strength here in your runner's lunge. Sending that head forward. And then we're going to step that left foot back up to the top to meet our right foot. And you're going to hang down low once again in your ragdoll pose. Bending those knees again if that feels good for you. Maybe bending them lots and lots so your belly rests upon your thighs. Really allowing that head to become nice and heavy and that nice big release through the lower back. Big breath in as we start to unravel ourselves. Again, the head is the last thing to come. Soaring those arms all the way up and above the head. And breathing out, bringing those hands back down to the heart. We're going to repeat that one more time on the opposite leg. So big breath in, arms rise. Breathing out from big breath in, sliding our hands up to our knees, taking that halfway lift, almost creating that number 7 shape. And as you breathe out, hands come down to the mat, pressing palms into the floor. This time stepping your right leg back and allowing that right knee to come down to the ground, untucking those toes. Big breath in, hands to the knees. Find that stability once again, finding that balance. And really bending into that left knee so you can sink those hips down a little bit lower. Big breath in, maybe the arms rise up towards the ceiling. Breathing out, release the shoulders. One more big breath in. Yeah. As you breathe out, bringing those fingertips down towards the mat, you shift the bottom back, peeling those left toes off the ground. Lovely. Pausing here, just feeling that stretch through the back of that left hamstring. Allowing the sole of that left foot to come back down as the right hand comes next to it. Big breath in, soaring that left arm up towards the sky. As you keep bending into that left knee, taking that easy twist once more. Allowing those left fingers to come back down, tucking the toes under on that right leg, popping that knee on, or finding that length in your runner's lunge once again. As we breathe in, we're going to step that right foot to meet the left, hanging down low in our ragdoll, taking maybe a little sway from left to right. Love. And slowly unrolling ourselves back up towards our nice strong mountain. Arms reach up and over the head as palms touch and draw back down towards the heart. Lovely. So we're taking it really nice and slow today, just feeling into the parts of the body, just being really kind to ourselves as we begin to open and release certain parts. Nice big breath in, arms rise all the way up. Breathing out, folding the body. Big breath in, halfway lift, hands to knees, shine that heart forward. Breathing out, hands down towards the ground. This time we're going to slip back with one foot and then the other as we find our nice strong plank, just for a minute. Taking a nice big breath in and a big breath out. This time as you breathe in, send the hips up and back as you find that downward dog. Wonderful. Pausing here as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, bending into the knees, allowing those knees to come down towards the floor, untucking those toes, drawing the bottom back towards the heels, and finding what we call a child's pose. Now you can have those arms nice and long out above the head, or maybe you can draw them down by your sides and just rounding everything in. This should feel like a nice little release of the back body. And it's a lovely way just to rest after we've just come up to standing. So over the next few weeks, we may start to bring in stronger elements of our practice. But today is just seeing how we feel in our bodies. So maybe bringing that awareness to not only our breath, but how the body feels. So we do so much with our bodies and we just expect it to do what we want it to do. Yoga really nourishes the body and allows you to find space as we stretch and soothe each part of our body. Taking time to also slow down that busy mind that we might have with all our things that we must do and have to complete. Yoga just allows you just to pause and slow everything. Taking in one more breath. Breathe in once again. Going to peel that upper body back up as we sit back on the seat. Lovely, well done. Just bring those feet out from underneath you and stretch those legs out nice and long. Done. So we're going to draw that right leg in towards the body. So drawing that right heel in towards the bottom, stretching that left leg out nice and long, toes still stretch up towards the ceiling. So as we breathe in, find that left back. We're going to interlace those fingers just like we did at the start, and this time place them underneath the foot. And as we breathe in, we're just going to stretch that right leg to where it feels comfortable. Your leg does not need to be straight. We all have different bodies. Your legs might be really long, unlike mine. Mine are quite short, so I can stretch my leg out a little bit longer. Pausing there, keeping a hold of that foot, bending into that knee, and then taking a little rock from side to side now. But just releasing into those hips after those nice big lunges that we took. Just being really kind to ourselves. Maybe you can take this pose a little bit further, but by all means keep it here if this feels good. But you can draw the sole of that right foot to the inside of that left elbow, and then wrap your other arm around the outside of that right. And you continue to rock from side to side. This way, we're just drawing that leg in a little bit closer towards the chest, so we're taking that stretch on the outside of our leg a little bit. A lovely way to stretch through our legs is our next pose, which is called our figure four. This is where you're now going to allow the back of that right ankle to just rest behind the left. You can just allow the hands to come and support behind you. And you can keep it here if this feels more than enough. Or maybe you start to bend into that left leg as you plant the sole of that left foot down towards the floor. So you want to flex through those right toes, sending those right toes up towards the ceiling. Then maybe you can shimmy that bottom a little bit closer towards your left heel. And you can walk those hands in a little bit closer, allowing your chest to lift up. You can continue to take that rock from side to side. Hopefully you're feeling that stretch on the outside of your leg. One more breath in. And take that left leg all the way out back. Uncrossing that right leg. Nice big breath in, soaring those arms up towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, folding over those legs, just allow that back to just take a nice deep fold. No need to keep that nice length in our back just at the moment. Just allow yourself just to come into this soothing, relaxing. Taking one more breath here before we come on the other side. Slowly enrolling ourselves. Seated. Do the same on the opposite side. So this time drawing our left foot in towards the body. Sitting up nice and tall through the spine, interlacing those fingers once again, placing them under the left foot, and sending that left leg up towards the ceiling. Bending into that left knee, taking that little rock the baby from side to side. And keeping it here, or maybe taking it that little bit further as you draw that left foot to the inside of that right elbow, and then wrapping the left arm around the outside. Continue to rock from side to side. Again, maybe noticing if this side feels a little bit deeper, a little bit tighter. And then slowly resting the left ankle this time behind that right. Bringing those hands behind you for support once again. Keeping it here, or maybe bending into that right leg as you plant that right foot down. Drawing that bottom in a little bit closer towards that right heel, flexing those those left toes, and continue to rock from side to side. My left side's definitely tighter for me, so I may not go as deep this side. And then stretching that leg out nice and long once again, uncrossing the leg. Nice big breath in, soaring those arms up towards the sky. As you breathe out, gently taking that nice relaxing fold over. One breath. As you breathe in and go back, reaching those arms out. We're just going to slowly make our way down towards the mat, just how we started. So just drawing the navel in, pointing those toes away as we slowly bring our backs all the way down to the floor, taking those arms all the way up and over the head, taking that full body stretch once again. Oh. And drawing those knees in for a nice little squeeze once again. Going to take it into a nice little twist for our spines now. So keeping those knees in towards the chest, but this time open those arms out to a nice big T. So breathing in, tucking those legs in. And as we breathe out, you're going to allow both legs this time to fall over to the right side. You're going to try and keep your upper body so it's still looking up towards the ceiling. So both your shoulder blades are still down towards the mat. You're just taking that little twist in through the spine and the side. So hopefully should feel nice. And then breathing in, drawing those knees all the way back through to the center. And as we breathe out, allowing both legs this time to fall over to the left. Once again, keeping our upper body shining up towards the ceiling. Bit of strength to draw those knees back into the center. Let's take that happy baby pose that we started with. So again, supporting the backs of the knees if that feels good for you, or maybe seeing if you can take a hold of the outside edge of those feet. Does this pose feel a little bit easier now as we've stretched into the body, or does it feel no different? Taking in one more breath. Releasing the hold of those legs. We take one little tuck, those knees in towards the chest, peeling the back of the head off the floor. So we draw it in towards the knees. Breathing in, hugging it into weight. As we breathe out, let's take up lots of space on our mat as we stretch those legs out nice and long. Palms shine up towards the ceiling as your arms come to your sides. Maybe a little tuck of the chin in towards the chest as you find length through the back of the head. Just let every breath come in. So this is where if you've got a blanket or a pillow, you may choose to get yourself comfortable. We're only here for a few earned this rest as your body is now soaking up everything you've just done. This pose is our Shavasana, is our resting pose. This is where the magic happens. Because we are asking our bodies to rest without sleeping. Be conscious with this rest. Slowing down, breath to relax. Allowing any thoughts that come into the mind just pass through like this. Work our way through our bodies to help us find that stillness. So relaxing the toes. Do you feel those heels melt down? Relaxing the calves. Soften the thigh. Relaxing the hips, belly, chest. Do you feel the back body sink? Shoulders become heavy. Releasing the arms. Do you feel the elbows? Relax the hands pressing together. So that gentle, natural curl. Say to the soften. Maybe the lips gently part, like a jaw. Soften cheek, the eyes closed, as the eyelids soften. Just every support that her help to relax and relax. So it's good to do this next. Just gently to deep. Take those arms up over the head once more as you take that nice big strength. Maybe lowering it forward to a curve. Poking those knees in towards the chest. You give yourself one squeeze. Gently rolling over onto one side. Pausing there. Your own time, gently coming back up to seated. No rush. Maybe keep the eyes closed. Thumbs go. Shoulders back. We'll finish with one. Nice big breath. Send those arms all the way out. Arms come to toe. So we draw the hands down towards the heart. Chin towards the chest as we gently round. Bring a smile to your face. See every round. Well done, everybody. I hope that felt nice and releasing and a good way to start our practice together. So as I said, we will bring in new elements that will help build strength, but I really want you to focus on loving and embracing yourselves. I hope you have a fantastic week and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.